Hello and welcome back to another video. As you can see in the thumbnail and the ship behind me here, it's the encounter, the hydrogen hauler encounter. In the game file, it's called the Never Seal, so we'll stick with that. I was told on my Discord by my faction member, I don't know, that I'm not very enthusiastic at the start of my videos anymore. I was at the start, and apparently I'm not now. I never noticed. But I think watching all of Quantum Chief's videos, he's assuming I should be as enthusiastic as him. Nobody's that enthusiastic. I like Quantum Chief. We've come to know each other. He's something else. He's some engineer. Pardon the pun, because I know the game is space engineers, but he is actually some engineer when it comes to those suspension systems. Like, they're fantastic. But anyway, let's get on with the video. Right, so here we go. I'll get me the hold up, get me welder out. So here we go. Here is the Never Seal. It's a small ship, comparatively speaking, for a large grid ship. It has a trailer attached to the back of it that has 3 hydrogen tanks, one severely damaged. It's all hydrogen. There's no ion in this at all. So we'll take a look around the ship. As you can see, there's a lot of damage on the ship. Making use of the ground down blocks again. These were brought in long before the scaffold blocks and the beam blocks, so the builders were constrained by the limitations of the game at the time, is probably the better way to say that. Now, it comes with 2 Gatling guns, one either side, and that's basically it for armament. But it's a decent compact little ship. I mean, there's a few decent things you can do with this. You could actually, if you wanted, if you captured this, you could actually turn this into a miner now. With all the with the way we have the armored conveyor tubes, you could run armored conveyor tubes through the front of this. Put drills on the front of that. You could, if you wanted, you could change out maybe 2 of these hydrogen tanks to large cargo containers for collecting ores, and you could. You wouldn't be able to drill too far into the asteroids because of the guns. Unless you take the guns off, then you'd be able to do a little. You'd be able to drill all the way through an asteroid if you put enough drills on the front of it. But again, I digress again. We're not talking about drilling ships, right? Right. So here we go. Yeah, severely damaged. There's the ground down catwalk blocks there on the top. So we come in here. Now it has a button panel here. What this button panel does is it switch locks the 2 connectors underneath here with the first button, and the second button turns off this merge block. So this ship can then fly independent of the trailer. And what's good about that as well is this would fly in atmosphere, just about. Now, you wouldn't be flying too fast, but if you fix this ship up or go on the far side, it has 2 sideways thrusters, so it will have 2 when you're repairing on the other side. But if you just take one of them off and stick it underneath here on this cargo container on both sides, this will fly comfortably in atmosphere, even with the trailer. So this could be, again, if got early game, could be a nice little ship to get you to and from planet surface with materials before you get a jump drive. So it's a decent little ship, is what I'm trying to say. We shall come inside here. Now we have the sliding door. We have the sliding doors here. We have a toilet on the left, an armory on the right, and we have 2 beds. Right. We have our interior button panel, when this is welded up, which I'll show you now, the only thing it does is turns on and off the depressurize on the vent that's underneath here, and you have a damaged cockpit or control station. So that's the inside of this ship. So as usual, I do two versions of them. I have a completely restored version with no damage, and then the version that's going to be in the mod. So we'll go and take a look at the complete restored version so we can see what I've done. Right, so we come over here and we look at the front. We look at this ship. So as you can see, we have the bridge helm on the front of it with the side panels. What they call it again? The bridge side, left and right, on the other side, just to give its own independent look on the front of the ship. I've changed out the long antenna to the short compact antenna with a cylindrical column behind it, and I've changed all the LCD panels have been changed to the hollow LCDs. Now on the side here, I've done away with the two oxygen tanks because again, a ship of this size doesn't need two oxygen tanks. So I've given two small hydrogen tanks, and the reason why I've given these two small hydrogen tanks is because that's a trailer. If on the original, not this one, you disconnect the trailer, this now has no hydrogen. The hydrogen that this is using is solely dependent on the trailer. So once you disconnect that, this ship cannot fly. So I've done away with the two oxygen tanks and put in two hydrogen tanks. So now when you disconnect this from the trailer, this ship can now fly independent of the trailer. But there's still an oxygen tank in it, so there was a blank spot underneath here that just had half blocks in it on the original ship. So I took them out and I moved the gravity generator forward one block, and I've put the oxygen tank in there, piped up. So the ship still has oxygen. So I took off the spotlight in the front, and I'm at the putting in these floodlights. I like them blocks, they're a nice looking block. And we've put the trusses and the truss light in the front here instead of the pillars. Now I've changed out um the blast hour blocks that was underneath here for two reasons really. One reason, I really like the cylindrical column. You know, I think that bit of roundness on the block adds something of value to the look of the ship because there's so many flat spots on the ship. Like the only thing really round on the ship is the thrusters when you think about it. So that's the one reason. The second reason is these have connection points on all sides. So I needed a connection point for this scaffold slope frame to attach to, because I've done away with the ground down block that was here and put the scaffold frame in for the illusion of structure, and done the same on the back. Now this ship actually comes with a hydrogen engine as well, so we've kept that. I've changed it from yellow to grey. Now on the back of the cylinder columns I've put one of the conveyor pipe caps just to take the flat look off the back. I've also placed one over the conveyor junction there as well, because like I actually don't like seeing the conveyor junctions, but that's okay. That isn't. I've done the same thing on the top and bottom of the two cargo containers. I've put the conveyor caps on them. Now I've changed out all these hydrogen tanks or thrusters on the ship to the industrial thrusters. Again, because I liked it because all the pipe work on them it just adds that extra bit of detail. I just think they look lovely. So as you can see, I've done my usual with the beam blocks coming around it. Now the ship is still airtight when it's fully repaired. It's airtight. And on the trailer again, I've done the beam blocks to make it look like these three carriers are being clamped together, only on the bottom and the sides. Now again, all the LCD panels have been changed out to the hollow LCDs. Let me get my up. And I've put the signs on the batteries there for the explosion danger. explosive danger. Sorry, and because they are hydrogen tanks and they will explode. So on the top here, we've changed out the ground down catwalks to the grade catwalks. No, I left all these blocks alone. Didn't think there's anything wrong with them. So if we come along down here, you see I've changed out to the sci-fi button panel. I've added it. Yeah, I've added 2 extra buttons onto it, just so we didn't have blank screens. So I added the connector on off and a door open button. The only thing that was on the original was literally switch lock and merge block on off, and that's it. Now this will still separate. These are not making the grid join together, because if you look at them this way, this rail is on that block and this rail is on that block. Now this isn't a catwalk with handrails. This is a straightforward catwalk, and this is a rail that's on this block and a rail that's on this block. So that rail there is attached to this rail and not to that one. So this will still separate. So we'll come inside the ship now. We'll have a look. I've changed out the stairs here. There was the ramp. Well, sorry, it was the 2 block stairs to this grated stairs. So we'll come in here, and again we still have the compact airlock. Now on the inside of this, it's a little bit more open, and so what I've done here is I've taken away the button panel and put this one button panel in, because the only thing that was on the button panel was the air vent. So literally I need one button. So there it is there. So I've changed the armory to the armory lockers, and I added lockers beside it, just to give it a little bit more floor space here. And I've spun the toilet around, so the toilet more or less faces the cockpit, and I've put a shower in here. And we've changed the 2 beds to the 2 half beds, because it blends in nicely with these what these called again, the angled interior wall. Blends in nicely with them, and obviously you get a little bit of light panel with some diffused light in it. But this is basically the inside of the ship. And we have our cockpit here. Nice view. I mean, I love that you can walk into the back of the cockpit now. Like, I know we have the large grade cockpit that has the sort of door on the back of it, but it's not the same. Being able to walk into the cockpit here is so much more immersive. I think, like, you know what I mean. It's great. The game is, it's by far one of the best games out there as far as I'm concerned. And what did he go and do? They're making the second one. Right, so that's this ship done. So let's go and take a look at the version that's going to be in the mod. And this is her. Now I'm not going to tour the inside of it again. It's the exact same as that. The only difference is this is damaged in every same way that the original is. So every bit of damage on the original is on this. It's all the same. So that's the video for today. And remember, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down there. If you like what you're seeing, give the video a thumbs up. And if you have something to say, just comment. And to my faction teammate, I don't know, I'll try to be a bit more enthusiastic in the future. So thank you for watching. See you next week.